Hello, today I'm going to show you how to transfer a domain name. Now, most of you will be either transferring it in or transferring it out, but not both. It turns out today my chore is to transfer it to myself, my own domain name, that is, from one registrar to another. So this gives us a golden opportunity to see it by transferring it away and to at the same time. The away site is going to be, in this case, GoDaddy, and the to site, where we're transferring it to, is going to be Namecheap. Why am I doing this? Well, I saved $5, and GoDaddy has annoyed me in the past, and we're going to go with Namecheap for a while. So they've improved their site vastly, and they have a good product. Certainly as a registrar, they're as good as any and better than most. But that being said, we're going to do this. So if you are transferring the domain name to yourself from some other owner, you won't see this part. It might not be coming from GoDaddy, it might be coming from somewhere else. And if you're going to be transferring it in, well, I do suggest Namecheap, and if you do use Namecheap, why then you will see this part of it, at least transferring in, at least until they change the website, and they do often. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to sign into my GoDaddy account and password. Alrighty, and now I'm signed in. And basically, I like to use the old domain manager, so I will. I don't know how much of this I'll have to blur out, but I'll do as much as I need to. Now, this is the domain name I'm transferring today, and I'm 2 days before it's actually due. The first step is that they're going to have to unlock the domain name. Many registrars have some sort of locking mechanism to prevent a domain being transferred away without your knowledge or participation. And I just turn it off and click Save, and it tells me, well, the lock has been submitted and it will happen by and by. And I find it takes anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. We're not going to worry about that for right now. I'm going to get on with the next section, which here I just click on the domain name. It opens up another window. And down here it's barely showing, but it's something called an authorization code. Do you see it down here? I'll move it down a little. Authorization code. Okay, it says email my code, so I just click on that and I say send. Click. Okay, I didn't actually click it because I already did this prior to this, but after that's done, we're done here in the land of GoDaddy for the time being. Okay, so now I'm ready to start the transfer over here. But before I do that, I'm going to go back into my email and I'm going to snag out the this is because I changed things back, but that's also one of them. This is the one. Here's your authorization code, says the email. So I'm going to open this puppy. Here's your authorization code. I'm going to copy this because I want that in my buffer. It's on my clipboard now. I'm going to go over to Namecheap and we will begin the transfer. So I go over to Domains, Transfer. And basically you put in the domain you want to transfer. In this case, wpdrills.com, and you click Transfer. Alright, and it's going to start the process. It'll be looking to see if it is unlocked. It says current registrar lock none. I just unlocked it. And the admin email. This is important to take a note of if it's not yourself. You're going to want to check with them that this email address here is in fact their current email address and that they do have access to it, because they will need that. They will also need to send you that authorization code, which is sometimes, depending on the registrar, it might be known as the EPP code, the transfer secret, or the domain's secret. Okay, they have different names for this thing, but it's all the same thing. It's a code that is used to prevent slamming the domain name away from you. Okay, so now that you've checked that they have this and that they received this email, you can proceed. So they've unlocked it, they have the EPP code, and they have the email working that is in the administrative contact info. Now, if they say, oh no, that's an old email, gosh, that doesn't work anymore. Well, before you start a transfer process, you need them to change that administrative data on the Whois, or you can check it using Whois anyway. But if you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. But basically, they need to check and make sure that the administrative email is a real one. So you will see it here in Namecheap, right here, this very email address, change after it's been changed in the administrative contact data. So at this point, you haven't paid for anything. You could just like stop, close the website, and wait for them to change it over. If they say now that you have changed it, okay, then you check it with them again. You say, well, I have an email that the admin email is such and such. Is that your email, and do you have access to it? They say yes, good. You see, if they don't have access to it, that's one of the steps will require that they receive that email, the transfer permission email. And if they can't get into that email, well, they're never going to receive the permission, which means they'll never be able to say yes. So the transfer will fail if this email address is not good. So all that's fixed up, and now I can go ahead and add this to my cart, and it's just like normal. I happen to have an account, but if you don't have an account, you will see that on the actual cart screen. There it is, it's been added. I can view the cart, and there it is. Okay, now at this point, right here, set EPP code. Well, Namecheap calls it an APP code, and GoDaddy calls it an authorization code. But it's the same darn code, you see. So you saw me get it, I cut it out of my email. Now I'm going to paste it in here. It's usually something funky like this. I click Save Code. Bang. Now it says Edit EPP Code, so that it's in there. It's been retained. I'm going to choose how many years I want this for. I only ever do 1 year, and apparently I don't even have a choice about that. Well, so I go ahead and confirm the order. And it's at this point you either log in or create an account. If you've not done it before, create the account, include all the information, really check your email address as you sign in to make sure that it is correct if you're creating an account. I'm just going to log in with mine, and we'll get on with it. I've got nice long passwords with upper and lower case and letters and symbols and every other thing. So use strong passwords, folks. Okay, so I'm at this point where it's going to give me a free year of WhoisGuard, and I have certain preferences. They might try to get you to get this, but next year it's not free. You see, the first year will be free. It's only a $3 thing per year, but what it does is it keeps other people on the outside from seeing your home address, your phone number, and other things. You can use it or not. Not too many people know how to even access it. It's accessed using a Whois search. If you look on the internet, Whois, W-H-O-I-S, like all one word, you will see many places, usually registrars, that will allow you to search this thing. But I digress. I'm going to go ahead and pay. And here's where it gets boring. We're waiting for this to pop up. Alrighty, okay, so now I just pay. Okay, and I like to download my receipt and, you know, save it wherever you're saving it. Oh, I have to start at 2015. Okay, so we are going to be looking next for the email that gets sent because I've supplied the EEP card, or EPP code, or the auth code. It was unlocked, and the email address in this case is my own. And so we're going to take a look here. It hasn't arrived yet, so we'll start this again after it's arrived. Okay, so the email did come. I'm going to pop that baby open. And it works like this. There is a thing in here. Now, this, by the way, if you're transferring the domain away, and you'll see this. But if you're getting just the transfer to you, then you'll never see this email. But you see the email that came from Namecheap saying the transfer is happening. This is the quote-unquote initial authorization for the regular transfer. The other measures of locking the account or unlocking the account and supplying the EPP code or the authorization code, they're actually additional measures that were added on by registrars later, but this was the original first thing. So it says there's a request, and this request is made to the registrar of record. You can pause this and read it, but what we do is we click that, and this is the one that Namecheap does, and you can say I approve or I reject at this point. Obviously I'm transferring it to myself, so I approve, but I'm transferring it away from GoDaddy, and I click submit, and there it is that this was happening here. Okay, so the next part is going to be another email. At this point the transfer will be begun. So you can see this happen in the next email. But Namecheap here will keep me informed of what's going on with this. I'm no longer, oh yes, I am logged in. It says Manage Transfers. Well, if I go to Manage Transfers, I see that there is a new domain name transfer queued for submission. Things change here. Okay, so it will be submitted, and the next email I will show you after it comes in. We're going to pause again while we wait for that. Well, the first thing to happen after that last step was I get an email from the transferring away side of things from GoDaddy saying that they received. Trying to open this here. Dude, thank you. Okay, it says received notification that I requested a domain transfer to another domain name registrar. Okay, this is the old, if you did not request this transfer, you must log into your account and stop. But basically I did request it. So this is the last step of things. I'm going to click this, and it takes me once I've logged in, to a page where okay, so I go to transfers, and this is pending transfers in, but then I want to go to pending transfers out. I click this, accept or decline. I accept the transfer, and this is me as transferring away from myself or from GoDaddy. I accept the transfer, I click OK. And the next thing, it's been accepted that it is being transferred away. The next thing I'll hear is from Namecheap saying that yes, it has been transferred away. And I will show you that because that's the receiving side of the thing. And you can see that email when that arrives, about 15 minutes from now. I'm going to pause. By the way, as we're waiting for that email, near the beginning of the thing, when I made the order and actually paid, I received an email showing the paperwork thereof, and this, personally, I mark financial and just leave it in my email. Oops. I mark financial and click apply and leave it in my email for tax time. I try to keep several different records for tax time. But we're going to watch the inbox, and the next email will pop up here, and I'll show you that. That'll be the end of it. Well, we're back. It's basically been an hour since we've started the transfer process. You can see this is when I paid the money, 8:20, and I just got the email 9:23, and that's for when the whole thing is complete. So I'll open that up. It says transfer domain complete. You open it up and it says yes, it's done. So save these little emails they give you, but at this point the web domain is in your account, or the final account, in this case my Namecheap account. And if I go over here, I'll probably have to sign in again. Just going to refresh. Instead of saying queued for, okay, there's now nothing here, domain transfers in progress, nothing. But if I go to my domains, you will see the new domain listed amongst the last of my domains. And wpdrills.com, there it is. So it's just arrived, and mission accomplished. So it's not too hard, but I give you this so you can review its various steps. And the important thing to do when you're doing this is just do the next thing and the next thing as they are due. When the person transferring it away isn't you, well, it's going to take a little longer. And it can take up to 5 days, even after the final part, if they don't okay the final transfer, which we did rather early on. The last thing we did on that side of the equation. Okay, hope this helps. Thanks.